Hey everybody, how you guys doing? This is your boy Theo, and I'm back today to talk about some football. Oh my goodness, man! It's been a long weekend. I had a little thing called this the NFL draft that actually pop up over the weekend, and man, do I want to talk about that today. And also, man, for you fans out there who are upset about your picks, hey, let's just see how it all works out. So don't get too stressed out about it. For everybody who's excited about it, same thing. Let's see how it all works out. But man, it was actually pretty great to see this draft this year, man. It was actually kind of different. Normally they actually kind of travel out. Here late the last couple of years, they've actually been traveling to different locations and actually talking in. I'm not talking. Actually hosting the draft in different locations for the fans, which actually turned out to be pretty nice. I personally got to go to the one in Dallas a couple years ago. It was actually pretty fun. I didn't get to experience like the first and second round. That was actually right around the time my dad had passed, and we was actually having a funeral. So I was actually there for day three when it was kind of like everybody would say the scrubs are getting picked. But man, it was still fun. I got to go out there. The NFL had a few things actually set up for us to actually do and take pictures in front of. So I genuinely enjoyed it, man. Just because I'm a football fan, I enjoy it. So it was something different. But this weekend here, I'm sorry, this past weekend was actually a little different because everybody's actually inside in the quarantine, and I gotta admit, it was something about it I really liked. So for you guys who don't know, which I'm pretty sure everybody's listening to this or watching this, actually know that the draft was actually virtual this year, and you got to see a more intimate look into these players as they're actually sitting there preparing to be drafted versus the first round players who are actually at the draft. They get to come out, the nice suits, everything, get to dap up Roger Goodell. This year was actually, in my opinion, a little bit better, man, because you kind of got to see them with their family. Like Joe Burrow, man, he was actually there with his mom and dad on the couch. He knew he was number one pick. They knew, and man, they were just still, just genuinely happy, kind of in their own settings. My guy Tua, he was actually with his family, and man, they was all business. So, but it was something different. There was a lot of players you got to see them crying, families jumping around, cheering, and to me, that actually touched me a little bit more, just because it was pretty cool. That was my dream. If I ever got a chance to go to the NFL, that's kind of how I wanted my draft party to be. Just immediate family, and we're just in there, just being us, just having fun. But of course, that didn't work out. But I guess I did like it. It was actually something that was pretty cool. You got an intimate look in these people's homes and these lives. So it was something that was actually pretty cool to watch. Some of my favorite things about that I actually saw, that actually, like I said, like Joe Burrow, he was there with his mom and dad. Tua was actually there with his mom, dad, little brother who's actually playing quarterback at Bama right now. Um, hmm. I like watching CeeDee Lamb actually kind of sit there and celebrate. Henry Ruggs, that was actually pretty funny with the robe on, saying he's comfortable in his setting. He got this. um, who else was actually pretty good on there? My boy Cam Akers, man, I was actually really proud of that guy. He's a Mississippi guy, and man, I was rooting for him for the last 3 years. He didn't. Florida State kind of couldn't put him on the map because of the last couple of years they've actually had. But I was still cheering for that guy, man. I'm so happy Cam Akers actually got in the NFL, and he's actually gonna hope. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do well. Matter of fact, you got Jalen, man. He was sitting there with his family in Houston, just kind of chilling. Finally got picked. I'm gonna get into that one a little bit later too. And man, you just all business. That's what Jalen do. Just all business. I got this. I got this. But yeah, it was interesting, man. Just kind of going to these people's homes, and some people should have cleaned up a little bit. Me personally, I'm not gonna say no names, but yeah, it was still pretty cool. Some people were a little fancy. Some things were going on. Cell phones getting snatched out of people's hands. People walking around with no shirts on. So it was, I don't know. It was actually interesting. So that was actually pretty cool. And on top of that, it was something unexpected. Nobody knew where people were going to get picked. Okay, take that back. The first couple picks, the first five picks, everybody kind of understood that. Oh, this is going to go here, he's going to go here. Yeah, we all kind of knew that. But man, once it got to day two, that's when the fun started. It was actually interesting. It was one of those things where you're not watching film, you're not watching old replays, and you're like, oh yeah, I knew this is going to happen. Oh yeah, this team is going to win. Wasn't none of that. It was all like, let me get my popcorn, man. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Well, who's going to get picked? Who's going to get picked? So it was actually pretty fun, and I really enjoyed it. I got to watch pretty much three-fourths of the draft. I missed most of the day on Saturday because I actually had to work that day during the draft hours, so I kind of missed most of that. But it was actually pretty fun to overall just watch it, be happy, be sad, laugh at other fans, do the hashtag boo the commish. I was still booing even though, he wasn't on stage. And he actually had a funny commercial with, I think it was Miller Lite, hashtag boo the commish. So yeah, it was still pretty fun to actually enjoy it. In my opinion, one of the most fun drafts I've been to outside of the one I actually got to go to in Dallas. So that was actually pretty fun. But yeah, that was a draft, man. It was actually pretty cool, pretty cool. But yeah, that's enough ranting about kind of looking into people's homes, kind of being a creeper. So first topic on my list to talk about today is my Tennessee Titans. Tighten up, baby. 2020. I feel like it's gonna be our year. That's tighten up, baby. I wish I had a sword or something in the shield so I could be a Titan, be all muscular. But yeah, I feel like 2020 is actually going to be our year. I feel like, in my opinion, we actually had a really good draft. John Robinson, man, that dude is like a mastermind. I don't. So, little story about the John Robinson from my perspective here. So, one of my best friends, two of my best friends actually, are Buccaneers fans, and one of when John Robinson was actually coming to Tennessee to be the GM, he was like, "Man, you're gonna really like that dude." He was making some changes in Tampa, and he actually knows what he's doing. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. I kind of didn't really know who he was, so I decided to do the right thing. Look him up. Let's see if I can understand who this guy is. And he's actually a Tennessee native. He's a huge Titans fan, so he sent a couple of interviews. He was like, "I'm going to pour my heart and soul into this. I want to make this the premier team in the NFL." And in my opinion, so far, he is doing a phenomenal job. Bravo to you, John Robinson. John Robinson and Amy Adams Strunk, they're doing things in Tennessee that makes me really happy, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people haven't seen before. Like I said, John Robinson, he's getting the players in there. Amy Adams Strunk had got the NFL draft in Nashville last year. She came out and said, "Hey, let's come up with some new jerseys." So they got some new jerseys, and oh man, 2 years in Mike Vrabel's coaching career, and we got that close to the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna say that close because, man, Patrick Mahomes was on fire. But yeah, we eventually lost in the AFC Championship to the eventual Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But I said all that to show, since he's been there, he's been making a progression. We went 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, and we were making the playoffs, but we didn't have that spark to get us over the hump. Now, one of the things that John Robinson actually does is at the end of the season, he basically wipes the slate clean. All right, I know I got all these players, but do they fit into what we're trying to do as a team, as an organization? And he basically starts over. All right, I need this player. He stays. He did good. This player stays. Oh, that player. Okay, I'm thinking about that. He got to go. He's doing those types of things, and it's actually working out for us. And this NFL draft, in my opinion, is where you got to see John Robinson at work. All right, so he first round, he actually drafted Isaiah Wilson, tackle outside from Georgia. I actually got to see Isaiah play a couple times, and I remember this guy on film because he was a big guy. mean, he's like a bear walking on the field or something. But I mean, in the run game, he was dogging people. I mean, it's just clear as day. He gets a hand on somebody, you ain't got no chance. I don't care how big you are. He was moving people. Great run blocker. I've seen him in the passing game. He's actually pretty good at that. But I will say his strong point is the run game, and that'll make you think, why did we draft him? Oh, we got King Henry in the backfield, so somebody got to open these holes up for him. And on top of that, we got a young guy at tackle, somebody who can stick around for a while and be productive for us. So I personally think that's a good pick. I don't like what the not NFL, ESPN did. This whole wow. We get into that later. I may talk about the way ESPN kind of covered the draft. That, in my opinion, wasn't pretty nice. But yeah, Isaiah Wilson from Georgia, tackle, great player. I feel like he's going to be a beast for us. Isaiah is what? I'm looking up here. He is 6'6", 350 pounds. That's a big dude. That's a lot of food you got to feed him, man. That dude was, I said he was a beast at Georgia. I got to see him play a couple times because one, I'm an Alabama fan in college football, and two, I do love college football, so I just watch football. And like I said, he moves furniture. He moves people. He moves humans. So I think he'll be great for us, especially in the run game. So hopefully Derrick Henry can get some more yards, take some of that pressure off of Ryan Tannehill, and then Ryan Tannehill just pick you apart with A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. So that would be really, really great. In the second round, the 61st pick, we actually picked up Christian Fulton. I apologize if I butcher your name, but Christian Fulton, cornerback out of LSU. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I played defense, and I actually played cornerback, and I love my team. I do. But man, my cornerbacks, they scare me. And I genuinely believe this would be a good pickup for us. We got Malcolm Butler over there, and everybody makes the Malcolm Butler memes and jokes. Um, I'm not gonna say like he's the worst player. He's a good player, but I personally haven't seen him produce the way he's getting paid, in my opinion. And I feel like with the league now actually going to a different style of football, which is all the players who now are coming into the league, they basically grew up playing in the spread offense. So they started that from like little league to high school. Now they played it in college, and it's making its way to the NFL. The NFL is becoming a track meet. Look at the Super Bowl champions. Look what they did. So now teams are actually going to have to figure out a way to slow them down on the defensive side. And I feel like Christian Fulton would be a great asset to that. He's a corner who's actually, he puts his foot down once he makes his break. He puts his foot down. He's there in a flash. Great at great cover skills, great man skills, great ball skills on top of that. So the ball's in the air. I mean, it's like he wants the football. So now I know he had a little bit of issues at LSU, but a good friend of mine that I played high school football with told me Coach Orgeron is one of the best coaches to ever play for, and he knows how to talk to his players. And so I'm pretty sure Coach O talked to Christian and sat him down and said, "Hey, look, you do this step-by-step program. I'm not sure what it is, but you do this, you'll become an NFL football player. And don't worry about the discipline part. This will make you a better man as well." So I feel like that Christian Fulton would actually be a great asset to help us out with Adoree Jackson on the other side of him. Great cover skills. So I feel like with those two playing corner, we would have a great shot at better playing man and actually switches some coverages and not linebackers, blitzes up in the in this upcoming season. So that's my personal thing. I feel like Christian Fulton, great pick. Round 3 with the 93rd pick, we pick Dartarian Evans. Like I said, I apologize if I'm butchering your names if you ever hear this, but yeah, Dartarian Evans, running back out of Appalachian State. Dion Lewis out the door, bringing another young, speedy running back because the average shelf life for running backs in the league is about 6 years. So I think that's a great pick. Somebody who's a little bit younger, a little bit faster, kind of spell Derrick Henry. Yeah, well, that'd be great. Dude got some great hands. Had a great, phenomenal career at Appalachian State. So I personally think that's a good. It's not much to say about, but because it's not, I haven't seen a lot of film on him, but I feel like that's a great pick from what little bit I have seen, and I think he'll be a great complement to Derrick Henry. Next up, in our next pick was actually in the fifth round, 174 overall. We picked Laurel Merchant, defensive tackle of North Carolina State, dog on the field. Put him next to Big Jeff. Game over. We in this offseason we actually did lose Jarrell Casey. He was a great player for us, man, a great guy. And it sucks actually leaving, but like I said, John Robinson look at this and he thinks, okay, XYZ needs to move and XYZ need to stay. So apparently there was a reason why, and I'm not in the room, so I can't question it. I don't know what's going on, but watching the film on this guy, what little bit I've actually seen was actually pretty good. So he's a dog. He's actually a good gap filler, so that should definitely help us out in the run game, and also get some pressure on Philip Rivers and the Colts, and also on the mustache guy. I forgot his name that quick. He's actually from Mississippi. I feel bad. Jacksonville, the mustache guy. So yeah, he's going to get pressure on the quarterbacks in the passing game. He's also a good gap filler in the run game. Like I said, put him and Big Jeff Simmons over there. Yeah, that'd be a wrap. See here. Next up, we actually round 7, pick 224. We picked Cole McDonald. Now this one here was a little interesting to me. I was thinking at first, why did we pick Cole McDonald? I don't understand this. Why don't we go find like a free agent quarterback and have him back up Ryan Tannehill? And then it dawned on me after watching some film. Cole McDonald was actually slept on. Dude has a cannon. He has great product placement when he's throwing the football. If you ever get a chance, man, go look up Cole McDonald. He's a quarterback from Hawaii. Apologize, Hawaii. And he was, just watching him on film, man, it was actually pretty fun to watch him. Like I said, great product placement when he's throwing the football. He's still a mobile quarterback, so he can actually move and create plays. He does a great job going through his progressions. So I really like that pick. I didn't think we would actually think about taking a quarterback, even though there was a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that was actually pretty good. Didn't see us actually picking up one. I, for some reason, didn't even think about it. But I'm super happy with that pick, and I think Cole McDonald will be a great backup to Ryan Tannehill, and also do some great things for us. And then our last pick in the 7th round with 243 overall, pick Chris Jackson out of Marshall. Trust me, guys, if we can get a DB, I'm all for it, especially at cornerback. And apparently this guy can actually play a little bit of safety and cornerback. Good man skills. So can't wait to see him line up and give it a shot. So, but yeah, man, like I said, overall, I really feel like we did a good job in the draft. John Robinson, Mike Vrabel, they've been showing some great promise and how they want this team to look, and it got us to the AFC Championship. Right now, I can't complain. I'm super happy. So this is great, and I'm expecting great things this upcoming season if we have a season out of this team, whenever the next season is. I'm just expecting great things. And John Robinson, Coach Vrabel, Miss Amy Adams, just please keep doing it. Keep doing whatever you guys are doing. Is in my opinion, is working, and I do like what I see, especially out of this draft class here. But yeah, man, Tennessee Titans. If I had to give them a grade in this draft, I would personally say B plus. Yeah, I'm gonna say a B plus. The reason why I go with an A, we couldn't actually get any big, like, generational talents, I would say. So, in my opinion, you only get an A if you get like a generational talent. So, but I feel like what we actually did really well, and that should actually definitely help us out. once the season kind of gets kicked off there. So, but yeah, Tennessee Titans B plus and tighten up, baby. All right, so next topic here. This one, oh, this is gonna be a fun one. So I was on. All right, so everybody goes. Well, not everybody goes to work. I still get to currently go to work. I'm not totally sure if you would consider throwing packages, working on the front line, but I saw on YouTube. I heard coworkers upset about some of their draft picks. Of course, all the Packer fans are upset about Jordan Love being picked. Let's see how it turns out. But the fans that are, in my opinion, some of the most passionate fans in the NFL, and I wouldn't say delusional, but they kind of had a point this year, was the Philadelphia Eagles fans. Um, Honestly, man, some I would say some. Oh man, some of those picks that the Eagles organization made kind of upset the fan base, and understandably so. I mean, in my opinion, you they need some receivers, man. Get Carson Wentz some help. That would be great. But um, with the in the second round, the 53rd pick, they actually picked Jalen Hurts. And if you want, go look up Philadelphia Eagles fan reaction to Jalen Hurts being picked on YouTube, and um, man, that was tough to watch. And it's not just because I'm a Jalen Hurts fan; it's more of like, okay, guys, like there's a little bit more than the Eagles. Like it's maybe they got a plan. And the reason why I say that, let's look at the New Orleans Saints and Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill was a quarterback in college, and they brought this guy in and said, "Hey, we want you to come work, play for us, but you're not going to play quarterback all the time. You're going to be able. We need you to kind of be like a Swiss Army knife." And Taysom Hill just got a fat contract. I think it was like what 16 million guaranteed for 2 years, plus incentives. That's good. And he's actually been kind of like that Swiss Army knife that actually caught a lot of teams off guard to help the Saints out. So I personally think that was actually a good thing. And so, in my opinion, the Jalen Hurts pick was a great pick for the Eagles, because now, Eagle fans, you have a Taysom Hill on your team, in my opinion, that's actually better. So I mean, but just think about this: you put Carson Wentz on the field at the same time as Jalen Hurts. Now the defense is like, oh snap, we got to worry about Carson Wentz throwing the football. Now we got to worry about Jalen Hurts throwing the football at the same time. What at the same time, Jalen may run, Carson may run. I wouldn't suggest Carson running unless you put some bubble wrap on him. But yeah, that's actually pretty scary. I mean, concept wise, that's actually a good thing for the Eagles. And Eagles fan, just let it play out. Let's see how it goes. Let it play out, and also think about this as well. What I want you to do: go look up Jalen Hurts and watch his film from his freshman year up until his senior year at Oklahoma. He has made tremendous strides in becoming a better quarterback. His freshman year, he led us to the national championship, and I promise you, if he would have had that ball in his hand one more time, we would have won that national championship. He actually scored the go-ahead touchdown to put us up on Clemson, and then our defense just kind of and let Jalen Hurts got us there. Matter of fact, in his second year, Jalen Hurts got us back to the national championship. He just didn't finish it. Tua came in and finished that thing, second and 26. And in those 2 years, Jalen was a guy who would hold on to the football because he didn't want to make a bad decision. He didn't want to give the other team, the football. His turnovers were really really low. I can't remember the exact stats for it, but like I said, his turnovers are really low. He threw the ball away. He ran the ball because he was like, I don't want to make a bad decision, but I trust myself and my skill set to lead my team to victory and down the field to a touchdown. So that was what he did in years 1 and 2. And then year 3 is when everything started changing. We actually got him a quarterback coach, Dan Enos, who is, I think he's at Miami right now, University of Miami. We got him a quarterback coach, and Jalen started to make big, big strides. He was actually going through, whenever he came in, after we got pretty big on the scoreboard, or whenever we wasn't up big, Jalen would come in, and if you watch the tape, he was going through progressions. He was actually a lot more accurate. He wasn't holding on to the ball and just running. He was actually standing in the pocket, looking for a receiver, and through his progressions, find that receiver and hitting them in his hands. Tremendous, tremendous strides were starting to be made year 3 at Alabama for Jalen Hurts. And then year 4 for Jalen Hurts, he actually transfers to Oklahoma, and he gets up there with Lincoln Riley. Now he's a starter, and Lincoln Riley is an offensive minded guy, and he takes Jalen to a whole nother level. Now you match that with Jalen's leadership. I don't want to let my team down. I want to lead my team to victory, and everything that he was learning from a quarterback's coach, which he's never had. You get what you got last year, where the guy was absolutely phenomenal. In my opinion, top 3, top 4 quarterback in the draft. That's just my personal opinion. It's not just because I like the guy, but because I was watching this guy. I watched him make strides. I watched him actually become a better quarterback for Oklahoma, and when he was at Alabama, the guy was on the money. Now you put that on the team with Carson Wentz. If Carson Wentz gets hurt, you got a quarterback who's going to be there, who's going to lead that team, and he's going to do his best to minimize mistakes to help you guys actually get to where you need to be. So take a moment, breathe. I know it was a tough pick because you guys wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that because I mean Carson Wentz is the starting quarterback and got a fat contract, so he's not going anywhere for a while. But you got Doug Peterson as your coach, who is a offensive minded coach, and he likes to coach quarterbacks. So win-win. Man. He put the guy up there, and Jalen started learning, and Doug actually teaches him some things that he may not know. I can't argue with that. I mean, like I said, Carson Wentz go down, you got basically a way more athletic, way better quarterback, Nick Foles, except for like I said, he's just way better. So I think don't beat him up just yet. Don't go to the don't go to the stadium and try to beat him up. Let's just see how it plays out, and I'm pretty sure you guys will be really, really happy with Jalen Hurts. So don't throw any more chairs, don't break any more remotes, TVs, whatever you guys did. I've seen a few videos, and I was just like, wow. I'm pretty sure you guys will be very, very happy with Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. All right, so next up on my list, we're actually going to. So it's funny because I was just actually talking about Jalen Hurts and Taysom Hill. One thing I personally noticed in this draft is that teams are, especially in the AFC West, they're really trying to. It's slowly changing, and if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, it was their style of offensive play. They got a generational quarterback who has a cannon for an arm, throwing to receivers who are basically track stars, and man, it works. it really does, and like I said, a lot of these players have gone through all their football life playing in this type of offense where it's like, hey, you spread the defense thin, and let's just work them. I know I personally never thought it would actually come to the NFL. I'm more of a traditional, hey, let's line up, run the ball to set up the pass. And now it's more like, yeah, we're just going to pass the ball, and that may set up the run, but we may pass the ball more than we run. So I'm more of a, hey, let's hand the ball off to Emmitt Smith or Eddie George and let's pound the rock. That's kind of what I grew up watching. But at the same time, man, it's been fun watching this type of offense, and I personally feel like that offense is here in the NFL now, and that's kind of the way the trend actually works with the NFL. It kind of starts at the bottom and then it slowly works its way up because for a period of time you got those players playing in that type of offense, and then eventually it makes its way up to the NFL, and the concepts and everything may be tweaked a little bit, but for the most part, still pretty much the same. And the reason why I say that is because look at the type of players that were actually being drafted in the draft this year. The Broncos, in my opinion, kind of hit the nail on the head, man. They got Drew Lock last year, who basically played in the spread offense, and now they have Noah Fant there, who was drafted last year, the tight end. They added Jerry Jeudy, and you got Cortland Sutton there, and those guys actually are great route runners and burners. So they're going to be spreading the defenses out and getting the ball out of their Drew Lock hand pretty quick. And it, like I said, this is a trend I'm actually seeing pop up. A lot, CeeDee Lamb and the Cowboys now. So now Dak got a speedy guy he can actually throw it to. Put him in the slot. Game over. So I feel like that's gonna be the new trend, probably for the next couple of years. Is you get these speedy receivers, these great route runners, and stick them with a quarterback who can actually work it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. For me personally, and being a defensive guy, oh, it's gonna be a pain. Trying to stop that is not fun at all. But I know coaches will actually figure things out and make it work. Because I mean, now you're seeing a lot of 3-3-5 and 3-3-5 stacks being ran in the league, so it's gonna be fun. I feel like that's what the NFL is actually turning to on the offensive side. So of course, naturally on the defensive side, we got to figure something out. It's bad enough they already got the refs on their side. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like I said, I think that's what the NFL is actually going to now with these type of players being drafted. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna put people in the seats because they're gonna be able to sell tickets on style and flash. Matter of fact, the 99 Rams when they actually won the Super Bowl, the greatest show on turf for a reason, man. Nobody was expecting that, man. Just you get some track stars out there, get a quarterback who can get them the football. Oh man, it's just so bad, so bad. It is so tough to defend, but that's it's going to be more prevalent in the league now because, like I said, these guys are coming up in that type of system, and so it's going to be real fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing that here in the NFL. And I'm pretty sure you guys actually like it too. So, and the last thing I actually want to talk about today, my personal opinion on this. So please, guys, don't hang me for this. This is just we're just talking football here, man. This is coworker talk. This is what we do. We like to have fun. Um, Teams that drafted well. Broncos. As I was just saying that as teams that actually drafted well, the Denver Broncos actually drafted really well in my opinion. Like I said, they picked up Jerry Jeudy this year. They got a offensive tackle, if I'm not mistaken, to block for Drew Lock. Let's see here. Who else did they pick up? Like I said, they got Noah Fant last year, so that was actually good. They got KJ Hamler, another burner from Penn State, who was actually a great route runner as well. They got Lloyd Cushenberry. That's what center, not tackle, center. They got Lloyd Cushenberry, who is a great pass blocker and a great leader on the offensive line. To block for Drew Lock. You got Albert Owagabunam. I apologize, brother. I'm trying to pronounce it. He's actually a great route runner. Good hands, good soft hands at Missouri. And Tyree Cleveland and Nate Mute. So they was actually thinking about offense, because like I said, that's kind of what you got to have now. You got to be able to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs. You gotta beat those guys. Um, I feel like they had a great draft. My personal opinion, the Browns had a really good draft. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the Browns. They're not going to actually do much of anything. But I really feel like they had a great draft. They're making moves to move towards the future. So maybe with the new coach they have now, they can actually make some things work. They picked up Jedrick Willis, Grant Delpit, Jordan Elliott, Jacob Phillips, Harrison Bryant, Nick Harris, and Donovan Peoples Jones. So yeah, they got Baker some weapons. They got him a little bit of protection as well. So like I said, with the new head coach and their GM, maybe they can actually put some things together, and maybe they can actually turn that thing around, because they got some pieces there. They're still pretty deadly on paper. Just the coaching, can they make it work? But my favorite team in the draft this year was actually, matter of fact, their offseason has just been really, really good. The Miami Dolphins. Oh my goodness. Look out, AFC East. They maybe not this year, maybe starting next year. They actually kind of pick it up and start taking over the Patriots spot, maybe, or at least win the division, because the Patriots have been winning every year. So, but man, they picked up my boy Tua Tagovailoa, Austin Jackson, tackle out of USC, Noah Igbinohe, cornerback out of Auburn, Robert Hunt, another tackle from Louisiana Lafayette. Got Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle from Bama, Brandon Jones, good safety from Texas, Solomon Kinley, a good guard from Georgia, Jason Stowbridge, defensive end from North Carolina, Curtis Weaver is an edge rusher from Boise State, Blake Ferguson is the long snapper from LSU. Didn't actually see that one. That kind of caught me off guard. And Malcolm Perry, a wide receiver hybrid. Not hybrid, wide receiver from Navy. I was thinking about their quarterback, who would be a great running back, be another great Taysom Hill. So yeah, they drafted well. They got a bunch of young guys on that team. A coach who's actually had a great not great head coach, a great teacher in Bill Belichick, because Robert Flores used to actually be with the Patriots, so he probably picked up on a few things, probably understand how a few things actually work, and he's probably ready to make some moves. And by looking at this, in my opinion, great job, great job. Picked up a few players in the off season, so Miami may be the team to shock a lot of people coming up next year. So that would be really, really interesting. I think the Dolphins fans got a lot to be happy about right now. So, but yeah, man, that's my, I would say, three teams that I think actually did really, really well in the draft. I just want to kind of keep it short because it is a lot to process. But the Cleveland Browns, Denver Broncos, and the Miami Dolphins. Great job in the NFL draft. Great job. Alrighty, guys. So, man, with that being said, it is getting kind of late for me. I'm about to go edit this video, this podcast, and put it up for you guys and get ready for tomorrow. But, man, everybody stay safe. Make sure you're practicing social distancing. Make sure you're wearing your mask. Make sure you're washing your hands for at least 20 seconds in soap and water. Man, let's take care of each other. We're going to get through this together. That's what we do as Americans, man. We figure things out. We work together. We work hard, and like I said, we'll get through this. It may be a little tough, but we got this. Hopefully, we'll have a football season, but man, we're still going to keep talking football until that actually happens. And I love you guys. I do thank you for watching, listening to my content. Just please like, subscribe, hit me up, and let's talk some football. That's what I like to do. I don't want to talk anything outside the white lines, though. It's the only things that happen inside the white lines. But man, I love you guys. It's been fun. This is Theo. You take care. Peace out.